For over 2 decades, we've invited the Roloff family into our homes. We've celebrated with them. We've cried with them. At the center of it all for the last several years has been Zach and Tori. But today, what you are about to see is based on extensive investigation, corroborated sources close to the family, and evidence that has only recently come to light. This isn't just gossip. This is a documented timeline of deception. Tori Roloff and her secret boyfriend, Michael, secretly went on a room date on November 25, 2024. Finally, Tori Roloff pregnant with Michael's DNA. And finally, today, Tori Roloff birthed new baby girl. Realizing Tori Roloff's secret act of betrayal, Zach Roloff immediately divorced her. To understand the magnitude of the betrayal, we first have to understand what was lost. Tori and Zach's love story was a fan favorite from the very beginning. Tori, a teacher, seemed to seamlessly integrate into the chaotic world of Roloff Farms. She embraced Zach's dwarfism, educated herself on the challenges their future children might face, and stood by him during his often tense relationship with his father, Matt. They built a family, first Jackson, then Lila, and finally Joja. Their social media presence painted a picture of domestic bliss, messy, chaotic, but always filled with love. They were the normal counterbalance to the drama between Matt, Amy, Zach, and Jeremy. But how much of this was real, and how much was for the cameras? As we will see, cracks were beginning to form long before the world noticed. The pressure of a reality TV marriage is immense. You are constantly performing your relationship for an audience. Small resentments, private arguments, intimacy issues, they often get buried under the need to present a perfect, marketable union. It creates a pressure cooker environment. It's not uncommon for one partner to seek validation or an escape outside of the marriage, not necessarily because they fall out of love, but because they need a space that isn't being filmed and judged. Was Tori seeking an escape? The answer, we now know, is yes. In the year leading up to the scandal, subtle signs began to emerge for those who knew how to look. On the show, their interactions became more transactional, focused solely on the kids or farm business. The playful banter seemed rehearsed. Off-screen, their social media interactions dwindled. Posts became more individual, Tori with her mom friends, Zach with the kids. Secret source says, there was a palpable tension there in the last season they filmed. It wasn't explosive fights, it was a coldness. They'd finish a scene and just go to separate rooms. The chemistry that was there in earlier seasons was gone. We all knew something was off, but we figured it was just the stress of 3 young kids and the constant filming. Then came the move. The decision to leave the family farm, and the show was a public earthquake. But privately, was it a symptom of a deeper rift? Zach, this is about our family's peace. We need to step away and focus on us, on our kids without the cameras. Tori, it's a fresh start, a chance to write our own story. A fresh start. But for whom? As we now know, Tori had already begun writing a very different story in secret. Our investigation identifies the man at the center of this scandal only as Michael. Who is he? Sources confirm he is not from the reality TV world. He is a private citizen, a former college acquaintance of Tori's who re-entered her life at a vulnerable moment. He reached out to her on Instagram maybe 8 or 9 months ago. Just a hey, how are you? Long time no see kind of thing. Tori mentioned it to a couple of us, said it was funny to hear from him. It seemed innocent. At first. According to our sources, the innocent DMs quickly evolved into lengthy text conversations, then phone calls. Michael, we are told, lived out of state but traveled to Portland frequently for work. She started being really secretive with her phone. She'd leave the room to take calls. She said it was a mom's group or planning a surprise for Zach, but it felt different. She had this new energy. She was dressing differently, wearing more makeup on days she said she was just running errands. We have obtained a timeline of their meetings prior to the fateful November date. Our sources, corroborated by credit card receipts and witness statements, placed Tori and Michael together on at least 3 occasions between August and October 2024. A coffee shop in Beaverton on August 12th. A walk at a park in Lake Oswego on September 5th. A movie in a theater 30 miles from their home on October 20th. Each meeting was presented to Zach as something else. A girls' night, a teachers' conference, solo shopping trips. The web of lies was being woven, and it was about to tighten. The week of Thanksgiving. Zach, Tori, and the kids were preparing to celebrate with Amy Roloff. According to sources, Zach was focused on family. Tori, however, was planning something else. She told Zach she was going to a pre-Thanksgiving dinner with a few old teacher friends from her old school. She had a whole story prepared about who would be there. She even mentioned names of friends she knew Zach wouldn't check up on. It was elaborate. Instead, she drove to a boutique hotel in downtown Portland, the Heathman Hotel. Our investigation has confirmed a reservation was made days prior under an alias, but paid for with a credit card linked to Tori Roloff. Michael had flown in that morning. He was already in the room. This wasn't a dinner date. This was a private meeting in a hotel room. I didn't recognize her at the time. She was dressed down, big sunglasses, a beanie, but she seemed nervous. She came in a side entrance and went straight to the elevators. We only put it together later when everything came out. We have obtained exclusive photos from inside the hotel that evening. While there are no photos of the room itself, these images from the hallway and lobby are damning evidence of the secret meeting. They spent approximately 3 hours in that hotel room. For Tori, it was a moment of stolen passion. For Zach, it was the beginning of the end, though he was still blissfully unaware at home with his children. This clandestine meeting on November 25th wasn't just a betrayal of vows. It was the moment that would set in motion a chain of events that would change countless lives forever. Because shortly after this date, Tori Roloff would discover she was pregnant. Christmas 2024. The Roloffs posted the usual festive photos. Matching pajamas, kids by the tree. But behind the scenes, Tori was panicking. She had missed her period. A home test confirmed her worst fear and, perhaps, her secret hope. She was pregnant. She called me hysterical. It was right after New Year's. She wasn't happy. She was terrified. She said, "What have I done?" She knew immediately the timeline didn't add up for it to be Zach's. Her and Zach had been distant, to say the least, for months. She knew it was Michael's. Faced with an impossible choice, Tori made a decision. She would hide the truth. She would present the pregnancy to Zach and the world as a joyous surprise, a miracle baby that would save their struggling marriage. Tori, hey guys. So, we have a little announcement. Baby Roloff 4 is on the way. We are so shocked and so blessed. Zach. Yeah, totally unexpected, but we're really excited. Watch Zach's body language. The announcement, made in early January, seems off. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. Sources tell us this is because the announcement was Tori's idea, pushed through rapidly before she began to show. Zach was blindsided. They hadn't been trying. They hadn't even been intimate in the time frame she suggested. He had his suspicions immediately. But he wanted to believe his wife. He wanted to believe in the miracle. But the doubt festered. Zach, we are told, began quietly tracking back the weeks. The math didn't work. Arguments began. Whispered, furious fights when the kids were asleep. Tori dug in. She gaslit him. She told him he was being paranoid, that he was trying to ruin this happy moment for them. She cried. She made him feel guilty for doubting her. It was a masterclass in manipulation. She was protecting her secret and herself. Yet, she was also continuing her communication with Michael. Our sources have provided excerpts from text messages sent during this period. The lie had a heartbeat now, and it was growing every day. Zach Roloff is often portrayed as the easygoing, gentle giant. But pushed into a corner, confronted with the potential unraveling of his entire life, a different Zach emerged, a determined investigator. Zach is a lot sharper than people give him credit for. The happy-go-lucky thing is a bit of a character. He's observant, and he's stubborn. Once he got a whiff that something was wrong, he couldn't let it go. He began piecing it together. The errands that took hours. The password suddenly changed on her phone. The mysterious charge on their shared credit card for a hotel restaurant on November 25th, the same day as her teacher dinner. He hired a private investigator. The findings were swift and devastating. The PI confirmed the meetings with Michael. He obtained witness statements. He even secured the hotel's security footage from November 25th, which clearly showed Tori and an unidentified man being intimate in a hallway near the elevators before entering their room. The evidence was irrefutable. Zach now had proof of the affair. But he still had one burning question: was the baby his? He needed definitive proof. He couldn't wait for a paternity test after the birth. He needed to know now. He confronted Tori with what he had. It was apocalyptic. He laid it all out on the table. The hotel, the photos, the texts he'd managed to recover. He demanded a paternity test. He said if she refused, he would file for divorce immediately and take the evidence public. Cornered, Tori broke down. She confessed to the affair, but she still insisted the baby was his. She begged for forgiveness, for counseling, for a chance to save their family. Reluctantly, and solely for the sake of the unborn child, Zach agreed to a non-invasive prenatal paternity test. The test involves taking a blood sample from the mother, which contains fetal DNA, and a cheek swab from the potential father. It is over 99% accurate. They took the test in late February. Then, they waited for the results that would decide their fate. The results came back in early March 2025. Zach's worst fear was confirmed. The report, which we have seen, stated conclusively: Tori Roloff is excluded as the biological father of the fetus. The probability of paternity was 0%. For Zach, it was the final devastating blow. The marriage was over. He was heartbroken, but he was also ice cold. The betrayal was too complete. There was no coming back from this. It wasn't just the affair. It was the months of lies, the manipulation, the attempt to pass another man's child off as his. That level of deceit, it shatters your reality. Zach immediately filed for divorce. The petition, filed in Washington County Circuit Court, cited irreconcilable differences. But the real reason was an open secret. Tori was served with papers at the family home. The news broke in a tidal wave of shock. Fans were stunned. The Roloff family closed ranks. Amy Roloff issued a statement expressing profound sadness for her grandchildren and asking for privacy. Matt Roloff was silent. Jeremy and Audrey notably posted a cryptic Bible verse about truth and integrity. The family was divided, and the farm, once a symbol of their unity, now stood as a monument to a broken dream. Tori, isolated and facing public humiliation, moved out of the family home and in with her parents. Her only contact was with Michael, the man whose DNA she was carrying, the father of her child. The summer of 2025 was a quiet, painful season for the Roloffs. Zach focused solely on his 3 children, shielding them from the media storm. Tori retreated from public view entirely, preparing to give birth under a cloud of scandal. And then today, the news broke. Tori Roloff gave birth to a healthy baby girl. According to our sources, the birth happened early this morning at a private hospital outside Portland. Michael was by her side. Zach Roloff was, of course, not present. It's bittersweet. It's a beautiful, innocent baby girl. But she is the living, breathing evidence of the affair that destroyed 2 families. Tori is apparently doing well physically, but emotionally, she's a wreck. The reality of being a single mom to a newborn, under this much scrutiny, is hitting her hard. The baby's name has not yet been released. We are told that Zach has no legal obligation to the child and has signed documents acknowledging he is not the father. His divorce proceedings with Tori are ongoing, now complicated by the arrival of a new dependent who is not his own. The narrative Tori and Zach built for a decade, The loving couple, the devoted parents, lies in ashes. In its place is a messy, painful, and very public reality. A betrayed husband, a woman ostracized for her choices, 4 children caught in the middle, and the newborn baby who begins her life as the center of a national scandal. Where do they go from here? For Zach. He is a single father to Jackson, Lila, and Josia. He must explain an incomprehensible situation to them as they grow older. His trust is shattered. The future he envisioned is gone. His journey will be one of healing and focusing on the children who need him. For Tori, she is now tied for life to Michael, a man she knew only in secret. She faces co-parenting 4 children with 2 different fathers while bearing the weight of public judgment. Her reputation is damaged, perhaps irreparably. Her journey will be one of facing consequences and rebuilding a life from the ground up. For the children, they are the ultimate victims. Their family unit is fractured. Their lives, already lived in part on camera, have been invaded by a painful adult drama they did not ask for. For the fans, we are left with a difficult truth. The families we invite into our homes on television are human. They are flawed. They make catastrophic mistakes. The fairy tale of little people, big world is over, replaced by a much darker, more complex story. The path forward is incredibly difficult. It requires radical acceptance from everyone involved. Zach must grieve the betrayal without letting it define his future capacity for trust. Tori must take full accountability for her actions, not just in the affair, but in the web of deception she spun. The children will need extensive support and therapy to process this. There are no winners here. There is only the long, hard road of picking up the pieces. The story of Tori and Zach Roloff is a modern tragedy. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when private despair meets public persona, when temptation overcomes commitment, and when a single lie grows too big to contain. It's a story that reminds us that what we see on screen is only ever a fraction of the truth. The reality is often much more complicated and much more painful. We may never know the full, intimate details of what went wrong behind closed doors. But we know the outcome. A family broken, a marriage dissolved, and a new life brought into the world under the darkest of clouds. This has been a deep dive into the scandal that shocked a nation. We urge everyone to remember the children involved and to offer compassion amidst the shock. This is a real-life story with real-life consequences. If you have thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. More update. Tori Roloff called out Zach's shortcomings, while fans criticized her for allegedly using their kids as a money grab. Meanwhile, many fans praised the couple's fall family pictures. In response to the backlash, Zach and Tori slammed the nasty critics following a viral video. I will explain everything. LPBW, Tori Roloff puts Zach's shortcomings on blast. The world witnessed Little People. Big World star Tori Roloff publicly disgraced Zach Roloff. Who is Tori's fan base, and what did she say about her husband? Zach and Tori Roloff, stars of Little People Big World, have been busy with their own lives since they announced their departure from the TLC family show following season 25. Zach and Tori's departure was the last straw for many people who saw it coming even then. Amy Roloff finally spoke up about the current status of Little People Big World in light of recent updates. She confirmed that filming any additional Little People Big World scenes is currently not in the works. Therefore, Zach and Tori's departure was the catalyst for all of this. If you follow Tori or Zach Roloff on social media, you know that their fans are always looking for an excuse to bash them. That is something that is always available. It appears that Tori decided to take matters into her own hands and openly criticized her spouse. According to the latest developments, where did she go from there? A while back, Tori Roloff joined the Suspect Challenge on TikTok and Instagram. In this test, participants name their partners as suspects and then use the suspect's undesirable behaviors or peculiarities to characterize them. As it turned out, Tori gave Zach his chance to play the suspect role. Suspect: 34 and still knows to make scrambled eggs and cereal. She allegedly said, according to Tori Roloff. Tori did this and a few more like it, and she was not shy about criticizing her spouse. Every day, viewers of Little People, Big World can't help but brag about Zach and Tori Roloff. But many viewers were critical of Tori for what amounted to a public roasting of Zach. As one reader put it, "Who would want their kids to grow up thinking it's awk their dad never learned to cook? Acquiring this talent is essential for daily living. After 9 years?" Another commenter asked, "Posting that would have made me feel really humiliated." A third individual interjected, saying, Quite a bit indeed. All of it was bad. Oh my goodness. How humiliating for them both. How embarrassing." A fourth individual added, "Just how does one confess to such heinous acts?" Fans blast Tori Roloff using kids for money grab. Supporters of Tori Roloff's Little People, Big World show have been vocal about their disapproval of her most recent money grab, which involved her children. What exactly did Tori do to make her followers so angry? Viewers may be wondering how Tori Roloff continues to make money without future TLC payments, especially since Zach and Tori Roloff left Little People Big World after season 25. Being a social media mom influencer is one of her side hustles. There are a lot of people watching Tori's Instagram posts because she has over 2.1 million followers. But it's more than just views. It's a source of income that Tori can take advantage of again and time again. In order to capitalize on her enormous social media following, Tori Roloff often promotes products and forms collaborations with other firms. Tori shouldn't hesitate to cash in on her massive fan base when she reaches the kind of popularity enjoyed by many famous people. Tori Roloff's most recent money grab was endorsing a vitamin brand named Mary Ruth's. For kids aged 4 to 12, the business has vitamin gummies and other sweets. "My kids beg for the vitamins every single morning." In a recent Instagram story, Tori Roloff also included the company link. Fans of reality TV usually anticipate that their favorite stars would attempt to monetize their social media followings. Everyone does this, and it's well known. Nevertheless, numerous Little People Big World supporters are criticizing Tori Roloff for her recent money grab, which involved the mother of 3 using her children for financial gain. Not only that, but many people thought Tori was being dishonest when she said her kids beg for the vitamin first thing in the morning, which is obviously not the case. Although Tori is making an effort to maintain that source of income, many feel that she went a bit further in this particular case. "Stop pimping your kids and get a job," one commenter on Little People Big World stated. Keep in mind that time she boasted about her position as a teacher. In response, someone else said, "Nah, the commission is all that matters to her." Her entire Instagram is a series of ads, chimed in a third commenter. Given that neither Zach nor she have ever worked, she will likely be the one to foot the bill for rent. LPBW fans praise Zach and Tori fall family pics. Tori, Zach, and their children are Little People Big World stars, and they recently captured some cute family photos to celebrate the arrival of autumn. Many of the fans were quite complimentary of the family's efforts, and their comments were numerous in response to the finished photos. What did the audience think then? Family updates are a constant for Tori Roloff's Little People Big World supporters on social media. Since Zach and Tori left the family show after season 25, fans may only follow the family's ebbs and flows through Tori's social media or their podcast, Raising Heights. Viewers adore it when they get to do something together as a family. Though fans may find Zach and Tori's antics annoying, they can all agree that witnessing Jackson, Layla, and Joshua's updates is the highlight of the show. Zach and Tori Roloff now have a lot of free time since they have left Little People Big World. Zach and Tori recently brought their children to an apple orchard as an example. The trip to the apple orchard never gets old. Not only can visitors choose their own apples, but they can also enjoy apple cider, apple donuts, and occasionally even a full-service restaurant or bar. Inspiring her family to get into the autumn mood, Tori Roloff posted a series of pictures taken at an apple orchard. Along with these adorable family images, Tori Roloff shared the following: "All a mom wants in life, go to cute apple orchard with her cute family and take cute photos and get cute apple cider." Zach and Tori Roloff are prime examples of the kind of people that put themselves out there in the spotlight and are thus subject to intense criticism. This typically takes a negative turn, with numerous individuals posting insulting remarks. On the other hand, several commenters are going on about how cute everyone is in this apple orchard scenario. Jackson is definitely the shining star in this family, according to a commenter on One Little People Big World. "What incredible children. Well done. Beautiful family," another individual remarked. "I adore these images." The third commenter chimed in with, "Oh my, it is truly heartwarming to witness how far you have gone as a family." Zach and Tori Roloff slammed nasty critics amid viral video. The Roloff twins, Zach and Tori, who are famous for Little People Big World, recently addressed their detractors in response to a video that went viral. Given the amount of criticism and hostility they've recently faced, what were the couple's comments? Both Zach and Tori Roloff have amassed massive online fan bases thanks to their prominent public profiles. There will inevitably be more eyes on you when you're famous and have a huge fan base like theirs. In the instance of Zach and Tori, this is precise. Given Tori's public persona as a mom influencer, this is particularly relevant. Additionally, since leaving Little People Big World after season 25, Zach and Tori have been actively involved with their new podcast, Raising Heights. The couple not only opens up about their lives on TLC, but they also discuss issues that are personal to them. A fan reel featuring Zach and Tori from Little People Big World went viral not long ago. More than 68 million views have been recorded for the reel so far. The five of them are having a good time with flashlights in this simple and entertaining video. On the other hand, everybody active on social media understands that there are negative ways to get viral as well. A large number of individuals have expressed their disapproval on this video. Even while it's funny sometimes to be a little bit snarky, other commenters were really nasty. A user penned the following: "Stop reproducing. Just why?" Another individual said, "Those unfortunate youths." Additionally, a third individual stated, "Bro can easily find out if she cheats." Not long ago, Zach and Tori Roloff loosened up. The couple had a lot to say over the nasty remarks they received after Tori shared this popular video with her family, and they criticized a lot of the negativity and hate that has come their way. Recently, Zach Roloff shamed those who write hateful comments in an effort to gain attention. It's common knowledge that hateful comments tend to garner more attention and support online. In Zach's opinion, it's important to avoid responding directly to negative comments like this. "You can't let other people's reactions dictate your choices," Tori Roloff added. Despite her prominence in the social media sphere, Tori has no blind spots when it comes to describing the internet. She has even called it a cesspool of evil. For better or worse, Zach and Tori plainly have no problem addressing it when it becomes too much. So dealing with harsh comments and backlash like this is just another day at the office for public personalities in the spotlight. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.